Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. It's another Monday. Oh my gosh, we are at December 16th. And the only reason I'm talking about what day it is because it's December and we're doing advent calendars. I mean, they're all over the place. This is my first time ever doing an advent calendar, a yarn advent calendar. I chose Tangled Poet, and not because I did any research or anything, you know, I wasn't all up on it as far as that goes, but I'm really happy with it. I mean, so much so that I think if I do another calendar next year, haven't decided, I got a whole year to decide, right? I might stick with theirs. I'm loving the fact that these are 30 gram minis, and maybe others have large minis like that too. And like I said, I didn't do research, right? So they are 30 gram minis, hand dyed, beautiful. Obviously I've gone through 15 days and I've loved every color so far. So I'm happy with it, you know, and I've seen other advent calendars. They have beautiful yarns, but it's like, yeah, that's pretty. It's just not me. And everything on this, I'm thrilled with, right? So if you do research, pick one that works for you. If you don't, just do the luck of the draw if you decide to do an advent calendar, and that's kind of what I did, and I'm pretty happy with it. So we'll open that towards the end of the video. And I know there's other people that have said calendar and they watch my video before they open theirs, so I don't want to ruin the surprise. I have not looked ahead on any of them, and I don't plan to. So day 16, we've got 24 days of these lovely little minis, and then let me pull this out, and then we get into this one, right? So this is a 100 gram skein of something. It's going to be gorgeous. I mean, I can't imagine all of them so far being beautiful and then the 100 gram going ew, you know, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be beautiful. So Mondays, what do I normally do on Mondays? I talk about all the things that I've worked on. Well, if you've been following, you know it's hats. You know I've just gotten stuck on hats. I mean, we all get stuck on something, right? You know, and maybe get a bunch of it. And what I've noticed for me personally, if I let that, whatever the tangent is, just take hold, I end up getting more stuff done. If I fight it and go, oh, I can't work on that because I have self-imposed goals, right? We know how that is. They're self-imposed. Nobody's forcing you to do that unless that's your full-time job, which is not mine, right? So nobody's forcing me. These are all self-imposed goals. And if I stop the thing that just has me consumed, like I said, it's hats right now. If I stop doing that and start working on, well, you're supposed to work on fill in the blank on all the projects that I haven't worked on in a while, right? You know, if you've been around a while, you know what I'm talking about. You know, and then if I do those kind of prematurely is not necessarily the word for it, but if I'm not really feeling it, it feels like punishment crafting, and crafting should never be a punishment. No, you know, and it's very slow and drawn out and just takes a while. But when I'm ecstatic about new project, new pattern, new yarn, doesn't matter what the yarn is, doesn't matter what the project is, right? When I'm ecstatic about it, it flies. It's like the little fairies or whatever come in at night, you know, like the cobbler, what was it, the cobbler with no shoes, whatever, you know, comes in at night and cobbles the shoes and gets them like, huh, I didn't realize I was that far along. It's kind of like that. It's, yes, when I'm really focused on something, and then I'll get into, because I'm kind of a geek, I'll get into the, it looks like this in this color. What does it look like in that color? Yeah, I do that. I make a lot of doubles and triples because of that. I know there's a lot of people that can't stand doing doubles and triples. You would think I'd be better at socks for that matter, right? Not that I'm bad at making socks. That's not what I'm referring to, but more like, hey, let's get another pair of socks done, because they're always pairs, right? They're all, you know, unless you have the single sock syndrome and then you make up a story, but they're always pairs. But I'll do 2 hats, I'll do 2 cowls, I'll do two of a lot of things, 2, 3, 4. There's a particular short sleeve corset type sweater by Annie Modisette that my friends and I, when it first came out, it was like a decade plus ago, I made 7. I made 7 of them. Yeah, I don't have any to show because I gave them all away, but I made 7. And I did it with different yarns, different colors, different, you know, hey, well, this size, you know, what if I use this and use a lace weight yarn and make the largest size? Because I think she had it up like 51-inch bust or something like that. You know, obviously making lace, it didn't turn out to 51 inches, but that was the goal. I just wanted to see if I change the yarn and change the needles and change the everything else, what does it do? Same pattern, but, you know, just in either larger or miniature or whatever. So I do a lot of that because, well, you know, I like geek and it's okay. I like it. Do you want to see the hats that I worked on this week? Yeah. So this one is going in the mail. I wanted to give everyone a chance. My members and everything were able to claim one of my hats that I made. And I wanted them to give the opportunity for them to email me and everything, tell me which one that they wanted. So this one is going to be in the mail probably tomorrow, and love this. So this particular one is made with the Rave yarn, that's Big Twist Rave, and then Big Twist Value Black. And if you can still get the Rave yarn, some of the stores still have it, by the way. It's a nice single acrylic. You know, another one that's similar to this, it's not acrylic though, is Knit Picks. If you use the Knit Picks, the Chroma, they've got worsted and fingering weight, that's also a single with a lovely gradient. And that's what this is. This is just a single with a lovely gradient, and then paired it with black because it really shows it off. So this is going to be in a mailer and everything to send off to its forever home. I'm excited. I got a lot of mail that I've got to pack up. I do. So I've got that. And then playing with some yarns this week, because I like this. I mean, this right here got me. This, just doing it like this. And this is the same thing up here, by the way, as this down here. But here the little doodads are black, and here the little doodads are the other color. So just giving that different look. Having fun with a stained glass look lately. I mean, it gives a really nice, I don't know if it's sophisticated, but a wow factor. It gives a wow factor. So what got me onto that one is I actually made, I made this one first. And this is all just those little tiny pieces. Just, you know, it's not a hard thing to just write on a graph paper. Very, very simple. So I just did all of these and left it black. And then when I got to the top, I just did one dot as I decreased, just one dot of color decreasing, and I thought that really, look at that crown, it's pretty cool, right? A little starburst. You know what it reminds me of? Remember the kaleidoscopes when we were kids? Well, if you're of a certain age, you might remember. But yeah, we didn't have all the fancy stuff. We had things like that. You know, you have a little one-eyed tube and everything. You just twist one end and it has like little rocks or medallions or something in the end. And it's a fractured mirror. So then it just gave really cool patterns. Kind of like a spirograph with the pen and paper and everything. Those are coming back, kind of. At least I've seen them. So that's the two. And that's, oh, this is... the colored yarn here is Premier Yarn Aurora. The black was the Big Twist Value. And any 4-ply acrylic or what have you, I did just get one of the 1 pounds of black yarn Premier. It was $5 at my dollar store, which is crazy because my particular Dollar Tree rarely has any yarn at all. I see other people talk about it. Hey, you can get some of the Premier Just yarns for $1.25. You can get this, or when they talked about that with the Premier 1 pound, they had it in a couple colors. They had black and green this time, but I know I've seen white before too. $5 for a pound of yarn is pretty darn, pretty darn wonderful. It really is. Wow, I did that. I'm not supposed to do that. It's naughty. So I was thrilled to get that, and especially since I'm working on my last big thing of black yarn, surprisingly, because I've been making all these hats. And let's see, another hat, since I was playing with that medallion, that just these tiny little geometric shapes. And then this is the same thing, only stretched out. It's the exact same thing. Here you did one row of just 1 dot, and then a row of 3 dots and a row of 1 dot. So I did 2 rows of 1 dot, 2 rows of 3, 2 rows of 1. So it's the same thing stretched. Again, I told you I like to do things like similar but different just to see what it'll do. That's what it does, right? You know, and then I went back to the just the little 3 square things and did some more of the dots at the crown. So just having a lot of fun. I'm planning on these, giving them away, probably going to be taking them to work and Yeah, while you're watching this, I'm probably going to have a big bundle of stuff with me and everything because taking them to work Monday, and start giving some away. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So the next hat that I started working on, you've not seen. I haven't shown it in progress. I haven't done anything. And I'm going to 100% blame Laura from Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming. And she had reached out to me and asked me a question on how to turn a pattern from fingering weight into a worsted weight pattern. You know, what differences would I have to do? Well, she was talking about a pattern I've had in my library for years and just haven't gotten around to making. So of course I had to make one. I mean, that's just how that works. And this particular pattern had, the pattern repeats are 24 stitches. And for the fingering weight, it was cast on 144 stitches, so 6 pattern repeats. All right, well, doing it in worsted weight, it's like, how about we do 4? Let's do 4 repeats. And I've been doing my color work on the worsted weight in size 6 needles. I mean, whatever works for you, right? You know, you might have to adjust, but whatever works. So I decided to try this. And this is another one with the Big Twist Rave. Do I have my ball right here? Nope, I don't. But it's the Big Twist Rave, and this is the one that goes from orange to yellow. And what do we think? So we know Laura from Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming is in Alaska, and this is the Alaska hat. And just doing, like I said, 4 pattern repeats. So this is pattern repeat right there. 4 of them around to make this. And then I did rapid decreases because that's what the pattern had called for. And the other part too is it was already, because it's worsted weight yarn and not fingering, you know what I mean? The rows are obviously this much bigger too. So I didn't want to, oh, let me go past the trees an inch or so and then start decreasing and do the nice subtle gradual decrease. Like, there's not enough real estate on that unless you wanted to make, that would have been kind of cool too, making a long, like a Santa Claus hat with this, right? So oranges, what do you think? So there we go. That is the Alaska hat. This is, I believe it's a paid for pattern. I don't know, I'll link it. I don't remember, but like I said, it's been in my library forever and just haven't gotten around to it. I did the other tree earlier this year, right? This one, and this is one that's, you know, slated to find a new home too, but did this one, and this one was a lot of fun, but hadn't ever gotten around to doing the Alaska hat. And part of it, I think, was because you have such large fields here of the contrasting color where I'm not using black, that I have to catch the floats. And years ago, I was more intimidated with that. Remember I said this year I've gotten a lot better at my color work, more confident. All it is practice, by the way. I mean, we can all do it. It's just practice. And let's see, speaking of floats, let's show you the underside. So here's where I did all my catching of the floats and everything on the back side. So I don't have any of them that are too long, you know, to where you can get fingers and everything stuck to it. See, there. So not too bad as far as that goes. And let me see where we have a big orange patch. And right here is just a large patch that has no black stitches, you know, and still catching that in there to where I don't have a big strand this big. Because when you do that, the other reason you don't want to do that is it's really easy to get things, either you've made your float too big or a lot of times too small. And if it's too small, it's going to pucker. Your fabric is going to look all ripply on the right side, and even blocking's not going to help it because you can only block it as far as that one tight string that's holding it. So that is my first attempt. And like I said, thank you, Laura, for nudging me to try this. So if you're looking at doing this and you're like, you know what, I really want to do that color work. I love that hat. I think that pattern is fantastic, great, wonderful, whatever, like me. And like her, obviously, I just never thought about doing it in worsted weight. Because I like my fingering weight anyway, but you know, like, okay, I could do that. So I'd used size 6 needles, and I think I used size 6 throughout. I don't think I did the 5. I would recommend maybe doing 5s for the ribbing, but that would mean I had to get up off my chair and actually go find my size 5, so that didn't happen. So I did it 6s throughout, just did a small ribbing, and then started with the pattern, with the chart. Chart's got 24 stitches per chart. So I did 4 all the way around and just kept it on the size 6 needles. And with or without pom-pom, there you go. And I think that yarn is stunning, just like it would have been gorgeous in this also. Was, you know, with just that rave is just with the black. Oh my gosh, it's just gorgeous. It's and I wanted to, but I didn't want to cut off the yarn. I wanted to start the bottom right here with the, you know, darker orange and everything, and then it go up to the lighter. But I think it's fantastic just the way that it is, and however it comes off the ball is seemed to have worked for me. That's a good way to put it. So those are my hats as far as that. But I did start another hat. It's not done, but I started that gnome hat, and I decided I was going to do it with the beard. Because I bought the yarn for, you know, 3 colors of yarn. I bought the cream, the plain, no color at all. This is the color my daughter likes. It's beautiful. It really is. So this is a DK weight yarn, and it says, you know, DK weight, size 6 needles, right? It's a 50-gram ball and 110 yards, and it's 100% baby alpaca, the alpaca company. It's just beautiful yarn. It really is. It's stunning. I'm using size 5s throughout. I started with 88 stitches, and then I increased it up to 99. I started with 88 right here. And on this, yeah, can you see it? Look at that. I got the gnomes. I got the gnomes. I did it. I mean, that's really cool. Loving that. I think that is great. In the pattern, you can add little embellishments if you want to, sew on beads, sew on whatever. I do have the little tip of the gnome hat. One's going this way, one's going that. I'm alternating them all the way around, right? So they're not the exact same leaning. So I did alter those all the way around. And I knit the bobble on the nose. A lot of times I crochet my bobbles. I really do. I love the crochet. I like the look of it. It's fast, it's easy, what's not to love. And it's not much of a difference. It really isn't. So these I knit because, again, I was working on it and my crochet hook wasn't next to me. So I just knit it. That's all. That was the only reason. I think they turned out really, really well for that. I'm loving that. So now I'm at the straightaway at the moment, and then I'll be doing the decreases for the hat. Now this is for somebody smaller than me. It is 99 stitches right now, and I am using size 5s. It does say it's a DK weight, but I don't think I would have wanted to do 6s on that color work. I think it would have been too loose, and then the other yarn showing around it more. So I did try it out earlier. I haven't seen it. I just had it next to me and everything and put it on my head. It's a little tight for me. Hubby's like, yeah, that's way too small for you. But he says that the color work right here is just stretching too much. But I'm liking this. I think that looks really nice as far as that goes. And I think he's right. It is too small for me. It's a little tight through here. The way that I did the weaving in, kind of, if you want to call it that, of this is the Go for Faux Fur. It's a number 6 bulky weight fur. And what I just, when I was knitting, every 3rd stitch, I caught the yarn. You know, so if you were crocheting with it, it'd be kind of like crochet over the fur every 3rd stitch. And that was just because that fuzz covered up the other stitches well enough, and that's what I was looking for. So I did that for 3 rows, and I alternated where that 3rd stitch, you know, so they weren't stacking on each other. So I just alternated that. I think you could have that wonderful same effect with crochet as I did with knit. It was just a nice way of putting it in, because, you know, trying to knit with a number 6 bulky and add it to that DK, that wasn't going to happen. And it gives the effect that I'm looking for. So that was the other reason why I had 88 stitches here and then 99 here, was because with that fuzzy yarn, even though his number is 88, it was stretched a lot bigger. So that is my gnome hat. My friend gifted me this pattern, and I think it's fantastic. About the only thing that I followed is the 9 stitches for the gnome. That's it. I did my own everything here. I'm going to do my own decreases. I just followed the chart. So if you have a chart that you like for gnomes, if you have a chart and something else. I think there's the Doodle book, which is a lot of miniature charts. My Alice Starmore book that I love with charted knitting, and it doesn't have any gnomes in it, but anything that you can draw and come up with, you can do. You can knit it, you can crochet it, you can weave it, you can do whatever you want to with it. And that's just a small little snippet, 9 stitches wide. And that includes 1 white stitch on each side. So the gnome itself is only 7 stitches wide like this. So very, very small, easy motif, if you want to call it that. There's a lot of books out there if you don't want to get your graph paper out that you can use and to find with little creatures, little whatever. And it just adds that whimsy and that fun to it. So I'm loving this and I'm looking forward to finishing it. I did get through the gnome, right? You know, I was trying to get it done. So it is really close and I'm thinking it needs a pom-pom. I'm thinking just like in the pattern where there's a big red pom-pom. I don't know, do I have any over there? No, mine are hopping. I'm gonna show you my pom-poms in just a moment. All right, here's my pom-poms, right? I stuffed them in my glass head because it seemed like a good idea. They were in the way. So I have hot pink. That's not gonna really work. But do I have a brown? Ooh, okay. I've got a brown one that might look nice. You know? Yeah, do I have a lighter one? Oh, this one. It's got gold in it. I don't know. I think I might have to get a pom-pom. I like the pom-pom. I don't like it for this application. This has some brown in it, but with that gray, I don't think the brown works. Let's see, do I have another one in here? I'm digging through the glass head. Oh, that's a pretty blush. That's really pretty. Not for this one, but that's, I don't think so because we've got the red. What do you think? Okay, that's kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie, that one, you know, if I don't get out in the store and get another one, I think that is cute. And then I got a lighter pink, nope. And then the dark brown. So those are what I have on hand. And of course, like I said, that hot pink, which that's a no. That's what I have on hand. I think I might have to take this with me and definitely not the hot pink. Take it with me and see if I can get a red. I like the idea of that red, big fluffy red. I don't normally buy pom-poms and put them on my hats because I just don't. No rhyme or reason, I just don't. And I think this one, it could use a pom-pom, right? Let me know if you would do the red or what color or something like that. I mean, it looks like, oh darn, I'm gonna have to go out and get some more stuff. I mean, that's just absolutely terrible. Yeah. Sure, it's terrible. What? Twist my arm, you know. And I do have a friend that I could get in touch with her too. We both have collections of things, right? I have quite the collection of yarn. She has a collection of yarn, but she also has a collection of pom-poms. And I'm not talking about a little pom-pom head, you know, glass head like I've got stuffed with pom-poms. She's got one of those tote bins stuffed with pom-poms and has stated before, come on over. Yeah, you can pick out a pom-pom. I might take her up on that. I might just send her the hat, you know, and next time we see each other, I'm like, hey, can we add a hat pom-pom to this? You know, might do that. I'm not sure, but it's an option. Either buy one myself, which if I see it first, I will, or take her up on her offer. I mean, it's kind of like we share, right? She gives me things, I give her things, we share. That's what you do. So yeah, that's my head. There we go. I got my glass head. So I thought it was a good place to put the pom-poms, right? They're not falling on the floor or anything. It's pretty good. It's a heavy little glass head too. With that, I'm going to go ahead and I hope you've enjoyed my projects that I've gotten done this week. Obviously, I am big time into the color work right now and loving, absolutely loving this. It's just like a sunrise, sunset. I mean, just stunning. I'm so happy that I finally got around to doing that. Thanking Laura for her encouragement to stop having it in my I'd like to do that one day list. Instead, it's I did that, right? Absolutely wonderful. And doing it with worsted weight as opposed to fingering. Nice. I'm not gonna lie, 50% faster, right? 4 repeats by 6 repeats, that's 50% faster. So it was a lot of fun being able to do that and figure out how to do that in worsted weight. So there you go. Don't go. It's day 16. Oh my gosh, it's day 16. Don't go yet. We have to do this. Should we see? 3, 2, 1, day 16. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, so that's a nice fade with day 15. So we've gotten lighter. Ooh, there's a speck of color in there. I wonder if is that on purpose? I mean, I'm sure it's on purpose, but look at those other colors. Look at that. Okay, so that goes great. I wonder what I'm not wondering. It will be beautiful. So it's like, I wonder what we're going to go to next, because we've gotten, here's the last 3 days. So 14, 15, and 16. Generally, around every 3, green's got us. We had 4 green, different shades of green, but around every 3, it starts to transition to a new color. I don't know. So having this, right, you can see, that's just the tie string right there. There's nothing wrong with the yarn. But see those little speckles in there? Yeah. So it's gonna, and that one right there, I don't know. I mean, that's gonna be, And we know I like that color right there. I mean, come on. But look, ooh, that gets different. Look at that. Okay. So this is beautiful. It is absolutely stunning and matches very well with that fade, and loving that, absolutely loving that. So now I will really go. I almost missed that. Thank you for sticking around. I'm glad I looked down and saw that. That would be terrible. You can't miss these things. They're beautiful. All right, everybody, you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.